Hey there, welcome to day 21 of the 7th Get Up and Go Challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and today we are talking about and going through the SOAP framework with respect to our financial aspect and area of our life. Remember, there are 7, but this time I'm saying there's 9. This year, 2021, I'm adding 2 areas to my life that I want to pay attention to, I want to focus on: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence. Now, financial, physical, and relationships are the 3 biggies for the vast majority of people on the planet, especially here in the United States. So I like to go through the SOAP framework and make sure I give a specific example and work through the entire framework, SOAP, one day at a time, for those 3 key areas and aspects of our life. Now, I'm going to give this and go through the SOAP framework and an example with all the other areas and aspects of our life, but I'll do it all in one day. So those might go more than 10 minutes. I apologize. I think yesterday we might have gone more than 10 minutes. I don't remember. But I know there's been at least a couple of days when I went over my 10-minute mark. Why? Because I didn't set a timer, and then I probably would have gone over it anyway because there's things that need to be said. So today we are talking about the A in the SOAP framework, and A stands for action. Nothing happens in our lives, in the world, ever until we do something, until we take action, until we decide and do. Well, how do we decide? What helps us to decide what action to take? Well, yesterday, if I'm looking in my little journal book, like I've encouraged you to do, I see in my lovely pink pen 10 things, because I just brainstormed 10 things as I was in my Power Vision movie. How did you feel about that exercise? I absolutely love that exercise. I've gotten to the point where I can do it anywhere, anytime, and it's just an in-depth, action-packed visualization. I don't even have to close my eyes anymore. I can just sit on a park bench or zone out and just do it. But it gives me great insights into what's really important to me. So I came up with 10 ideas, many of which I just crossed out and said, yeah, nope, never doing that, never doing that, never doing that. But that leads me to the framework and the tool. And I call this a financial framework, but it's a decision-making framework that can, of course, be applied to any type of decision. Now, I added a little twist to it this time because I wanted to see if I weighted the criteria, if I would get different results. And I will admit, I believe I got different results than what I would have picked had I not weighted the exercises. Now, I didn't add it up, but I should probably add it up. But chances are, since it's just a multiple, it probably would have ended up in the same order. What I did is I took my 3 top, or the ones that felt right to me, possible actions that I could do to get that $30,000, right? That I could raise that $30,000 in a short period of time. Not going to say how short, because you'd be like, that's impossible. And I don't want to hear any of that, because anything's possible if we believe it is. And what's possible for one person is impossible for another, and what's impossible for one is like snapping your fingers for another. So I came up with 3 ideas, and I said, okay, I'm going to analyze these 3 ideas using the filter of my head, my heart, and my intuition, or my gut, my instinct. Why? Because over the decades, I have learned that if I don't include all 3 areas and aspects of myself and my being, I screw up. I make big mistakes. I make wrong, massive, life-changing choices that lead me down a path that I don't necessarily want to go down. Now, I've gone down some and I've learned, but it would have been a lot nicer if I had listened to my head, my heart, and my intuition and not made that choice, not made that partner selection, not made that business decision. So I've learned that there are tools I can use, just like you can, to help me incorporate my head, my heart, and my intuition. And this time I decided, based on the number of letters in the word, I was going to add that as the weighting for my rating of each of these items. So I need my magnifying glass so I can tell you what they say. They say, sell stuff that I don't need or that I don't use, because like most people, I have a whole lot of stuff I could sell and I could eliminate out of my life that I don't need. The next one was do a launch, sell a product or a service. And the next one is do coaching or consulting and create an experience for people. And so I voted each of these. I gave them a rating from 1 to 10, and I was going to do 3, 2, 1 nominal group, but I'm like, that's way too many techniques combined together and people won't like it. So let's just do 1 to 10. And then how does my head feel about each of the options? So it was a 5, a 4, and a 6. And then how does my heart feel about each of these options? Well, 6, 4, 7. And then how does my intuition, what does my gut say about this is the right thing for me to do right now? 4, 5, and 5. 4, 5, and 8. So just looking at that, you would think, okay, number 3, to create an experience is going to be the one that wins. But I wanted to do a weighted average, so I took each of those numbers times 4 for my head, because we spend a whole lot of time thinking about stuff that is, and we give it way too much emphasis, and we forget all about what does our gut and our heart say about that. So I gave heart a 5 weighting, and I gave intuition 10. Why? Because the biggest times I've gotten burned is when I have totally been not listening to my intuition. Every time in my personal life that I have ignored my intuition when it was saying, no, there's something off, don't do this, every single time I have been wrong. Even though people and situations and products and services and things might look awesome on paper, you have to put your faith in believing that the paper and everything that's documented is real and the truth. And oftentimes it's not. I know, bubble bursters. Sometimes people aren't honest and lie. So then I weighted it, multiplied it out, and I found out that the experience was my number 1 weighted thing. The product or service was the last, and selling stuff I already have was the second option. So I know that moving forward today, I'm going to come up with an action item to create an experience and sell an experience. And I won't do it all in one day. Of course not. It's too much to create a whole experience and launch it and sell it and do everything that needs to be done for that. But I know that that's the direction I'm going to go based on this cool framework that I just made up by combining and adding different elements to achieve a goal that I want in an area of my life, considering my heart, my head, my heart, my intuition. All right, any questions on this? Hit me up in the comments below. I might have explained it pretty quickly. Our assignment today is to take your list of things from yesterday, your options, your possible options. Do this, and if you want to do it on all your options, your head, your heart, your intuition, you can do that. That's for extra credit. And normally I'll do that, but I've done this so many times. This is my 7th time in the last year that I know, hey, just pick 3 and analyze those 3, because those are your 3 biggies. All the others, you'll make a bunch of excuses and reasons why you don't want to do them, or you're overthinking it. And I'm learning keeping things simple and not overthinking things gets me to take action quicker. And I want to take action quickly. So today, do this, analyze your alternatives or your options through your head, your heart, your intuition. Pick the one that's best for you. Share in the comments below an action that you're going to take today. Maybe it's just you're going to research a certain topic or a certain thing. That's your action. But you have to actually think about and do something today. Decide and do something. Not the whole thing, but at least one single step to move you toward that. Because tomorrow we're going to look at the P in our SOAP framework, and we're going to know why taking that action today is imperative. All right, have an awesome day. I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Get up, go do this. It's not only easy, it's fun. All right, catch you tomorrow.